What's up, YouTube? It's Patrick J. Hilaire here, your real estate investor and real estate coach. And here we are at James Bond Island. This is exactly where Man with the Golden Gun was filmed. And in today's video, we'll be talking about how the James Bond actually helped me become a better real estate investor. So the first way that this really worked out, and unfortunately, there will be some spoilers if you haven't seen all the James Bond movies just yet. But with the older James Bonds, with say Sean Connery and even Pierce Brosnan, you got to see a James Bond already in his prime, meaning he was already smooth, was already 007, and very similar to maybe sometimes you see some other real estate investors, even myself, you're seeing an end product, or at least a product that is past the origin story. So we're here, I'm basically 28, have the ability to retire and kind of travel the world, but it didn't start like that. And one of my favorite James Bond movies, which is Casino Royale, really shows the growth on how James Bond started. So in Casino Royale, spoiler alert, we get to see the first time James Bond actually has someone killed and gets his first kill. And you see that's very messy. And I like to compare that to your first real estate deal. Your first real estate deal is going to be very messy. You don't know what's going on. Even with the help of a mentor, they really speed up the process, but it's still going to be up to you to get that experience. Very similar to the scene in James Bond where he kills his first kill, and it's very messy. Even if he was trained, and James Bond did get proper training, he wasn't just born that way, and that's very similar to your own origin story as a real estate investor. So you don't necessarily want to compare yourself to where real estate investors are right now, especially if they've already have their 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 properties, because you're just starting. Everyone has to get that first kill done. Everyone has to get that first deal done. And that's what I mean by a kill. I don't actually want you to go out there and kill anyone unless you have a license to kill, which I believe you don't. So that's the first way that James Bond helped me become a better real estate investor, in showing me that there is an origin story behind everyone. Even the smoothest real estate investors do have an origin story. They had to start from somewhere. All right, so the second way that James Bond has helped me become a better real estate investor is in his skills in negotiating. And again, spoiler alert, this comes from Casino Royale. And I'm sure there's other examples of James Bond negotiating in other movies, but one of my favorite scenes is going to be when James Bond actually loses at a poker game. And what you see there is that he lets his emotions get in the way for a brief moment and almost ruins the mission. And here we get to see the importance of keeping your cool when negotiating. And luckily enough, later on in the movie, what happens is that, again, spoiler alert, James Bond actually returns to the poker game and then wins and is able to get the outcome that he wants. And that's something that's going to be important if you're in real estate, and that you're going to want to essentially learn to negotiate properly. Negotiating is going to be key, and what you'll want to do is make sure the other person gets emotional while you stay reasonable and logical, so that you can make calculated moves just like James Bond. All right, so the third way that James Bond has helped me become a better real estate investor is gonna be in his ability to stick to the mission. And just like you as a real estate investor, something you'll need to always and constantly remember is why you're doing real estate. You don't want to forget that real estate is just a tool to help you gain the freedom and help you complete a mission. Maybe you're into philanthropy. And again, spoiler alert, but we get to see this in Casino Royale, where near the end, James Bond almost compromises the mission because of his love for Eva Green's character. And this is something that I had to learn, in that when you're choosing your romantic partner as a real estate investor, you really want to make sure that this person helps you reach the mission and complete your mission as a real estate investor, as someone who's trying to get freedom and financial independence, and not have partners that get in the way of your mission. So something I had to learn as well is to let go of certain girls I've dated in that they were not necessarily super supportive or really understood why I had to do real estate and own multiple rental properties to get freedom like this so we can visit James Bond Island. But in the beginning, it was really to get financial freedom so I can help retire my parents, and then for myself to be able to retire at a ripe age of 27. And now I don't necessarily have to be stuck in a 9 to 5. Instead, I can teach just like this, I can travel, and I can take on more consulting students where I'm able to give back and stick to the mission of helping other people reach financial independence. So that third way that James Bond has helped me become a better real estate investor is his ability to stick to the mission, and also the lesson to not get distracted and make sure you choose the right partners who are supporting you and keep making sure that you are on track to stay on your mission as a real estate investor. Cool, so I hope you guys got some value in this video where we talked about the 3 ways that James Bond has helped me become a better real estate investor. Again, to quickly recap the video, the first reason is going to be in his origin story, and always reminding all you real estate investors out there, even myself, that when you see other more successful real estate investors, they're already ahead of the game. That's like you seeing James Bond in his final form, not necessarily like he was in an origin story like in Casino Royale. The second way that James Bond has helped me become a better real estate investor is in his ability to negotiate, and we get to see what not to do when he loses that poker match in Casino Royale. But luckily, later on, he's able to win that poker match and make sure that his emotions don't get in the way. And then the third way that James Bond has helped me become a better real estate investor is in his dedication to the mission. And again, we get to see what not to do once he almost compromises the mission, when he lets Ava Green's character get in the way and she ends up dying. And hopefully that doesn't ever happen to you, but you want to make sure that your partner, your romantic partner, helps support your mission as a real estate investor. If they're getting in the way, if they're causing issues, and if you're getting distracted from the mission of where you're trying to get financial freedom or even help your parents retire, let's say, well, that partner might not be the best fit for you. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You guys are awesome. Keep letting me know in the comments what kind of content you like to see. I really read all these comments, and it does help me create more content for you guys. So take care and peace.